Hello, you're watching UATV News in English. I am Oles Gardzhuk. It is 2 p.m. here in Kiev, and now onto the latest updates. First this hour, the president of Ukraine International Airlines has just given a press conference on the downing of the passenger plane in Iran. Here is a quick recap of latest events before we go to his address. Iran has admitted to making a, quote, unforgivable mistake by accidentally shooting down the Ukrainian plane. Previously, Tehran denied Western intelligence reports which said that it was responsible for the crash. Now, let's go to the press conference here in Kiev.
Горжусь статусом президента компании, которая 27 лет своим основным приоритетом всегда определяла безопасность полетов пассажиров.
I am proud to be the president of a company that has, for 27 years, always put the safety of the flights and passengers as the main priorities of our company. From the very beginning, we were sure and assured that pilot error or technical problems were not possible. We have checked our regulatory documents and our facts multiple times, and we were sure that it was an external factor that affected the flight. When we were planning today's press conference, we had a different agenda. We wanted to tell you how hard the last 3 days were for us.
Мы хотели рассказать, как горько мы прожили эти 3 дня.
I believe, following the news, we still have to address the questions which have been asked many times. Why did our company continue flying to Tehran or to Iran?
Meanwhile, Iran gave Ukrainian investigators access to the black box data and cockpit voice recorders. A team of 45 Ukrainian experts is on the ground in Tehran working on the case. According to Ukraine's Foreign Minister Vadim Prystaiko, Kiev will demand that the guilty are punished as well as compensations are paid. More on the tragedy next.
Ukrainians are continuing to mourn the victims of the Ukraine International Airlines Boeing 737 plane crash. In Kiev, the widow of the pilot brought fresh flowers to the main airport, where a makeshift memorial has been set up. Katerina Gaponenko said she had been worried about the escalating situation in the region.
Of course, I had some premonitions. I had a lot of premonitions. I asked him not to fly. I asked him not to do it. But he said a phrase. He said, if not me, then no one else can fly. I'm on the schedule. The flight is scheduled, so I have to fly. I asked him to stay.
But she said her husband had told her he had to captain the flight. These are the images of the devastating aftermath of the crash that killed all 176 on board. Iran has admitted that it had accidentally shot down the passenger jet, and the president said it was a disastrous mistake and vowed to investigate and prosecute.
The Armed Forces' internal investigation has concluded that regrettably missiles fired due to human error caused the horrific crash of the Ukrainian plane and the death of 176 innocent people.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has issued a statement calling those responsible to be brought to justice and for access for Ukrainian investigators.
The morning has not been a nice one, but it brought the truth. Even before the end of the International Commission's investigation, Iran has pleaded guilty to downing the Ukrainian plane, and we insist on a full admission of guilt. We expect from Iran assurances of readiness for a full and open investigation to bring those responsible to justice, the return of the bodies, full compensation, and official apologies through diplomatic channels. We hope that the investigation will continue without artificial delays and obstacles. Our 45 professionals need full access and engagement to establish justice.
The Kiev-bound plane crashed the same night that Iran launched a missile attack on Iraqi bases housing American troops. In Kiev, many residents have expressed their condolences to the families of those killed in the plane crash.
It's terrible. They were hostages of ongoing actions in the world. It's terrifying. Each of us is a hostage. We don't know what will happen to us, what impact it will have in our lives. Nobody knows. The entire world says the plane was shot down by a missile and that it was an accident. In the future, many other things might happen unintentionally, and we can't do anything about it.
Iran has promised a full investigation. Canada's foreign minister has also warned Tehran that the world is watching.
He studies Ukrainian history, develops bilateral relations between Kyiv and Seoul, supports Ukraine's territorial integrity, and urges the world to invest in the Ukrainian economy. Korean ambassador to Ukraine and Moldova, Kwon Ki-chung, gave us an exclusive interview. Let's watch.
Kwon Ki-chung has been working as a diplomat for around 30 years. He represented Korea in the UN, worked as an ambassador in the Republic of Congo, and now heads the Korean embassy in Kyiv.
Ukraine is a very beautiful country and beautiful people, and also, among other things, Ukrainians are very nice, very kind people to foreigners. In many parts of the countries in Europe, there are some sort of conflicts between the host nation and foreigners, foreign communities in many countries. But generally speaking, Ukrainian people are so kind and very warm to foreigners, and hospitality. They have a sense of hospitality to foreigners.
Before heading to Ukraine, Kwon Ki-chung carefully studied the country's history and politics.
This is one of the books I like very much, and this book is regarding Ukraine history, written by the famous Ukrainian historian Mikhailo Khrushchevsky. And this book was translated by the previous Korean ambassador, and he is now the professor in the Korean university. That is, the title is Cossack and History of Ukraine.
Over the past several months, the ambassador has learned a lot about Ukrainian culture. He also told us about some Korean traditions and played a national instrument, the jangu.
Something like this.
According to the ambassador, Korea highly appreciates its cooperation with Ukraine, and Kyiv is one of Seoul's strategic partners.
When I read the book written by the former security advisor to President Carter of the United States. The title of the book is The Grand Chessboard. It was written in 1990, I guess. And in his book, he said, if Russia can get Ukraine, then Ukraine and Russia can become an imperial country again. But if Russia cannot get Ukraine, Russia can never become an imperialist nation again.
Korea has invested over $200 million in the Ukrainian economy. The ambassador believes that this number can grow.
One way of the economic development is to promote domestic industry, in particular manufacturing sector. Well, Ukraine has very advanced technology in aerospace industry and also military defense industry, or etc. But Ukraine needs better technology mostly in the manufacturing sector as a whole.
For the past 3 years, Ukraine has been demonstrating stable growth. According to the ambassador, it's a signal for Korean companies to look for new business partners. Reported by Artem Holub for UATV.
And that is all we have for you this hour. If you want to know more information, visit our official website. It is uatv.ua. Also, feel free to join us on social media. Simply type in UATV English on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can find all sorts of information there on Ukraine's politics, economics, movie industry, culture, etc. But our team is already preparing for the next bulletin. It is at 4 o'clock Kyiv time, so make sure to stay tuned with us with UATV, and I will see you then.